Global Times, 26 October 2022. India and China should get out of the geopolitics trap and find a way to work together so that everyone benefits, the Chinese ambassador said in his goodbye speech. After serving as China's ambassador to India for over 3 years, Sun Weidong said he was leaving his job and going home. In his farewell speech, he said he truly hoped that the two large neighboring and developing countries could escape the geopolitics trap and find a new, different path so that they could live in peace and work together for the benefit of both. The diplomat said that China had made it easier for Indian citizens to get visas to travel to China and had started processing visa applications for long-term students and people visiting for business, work, or family reasons. Sun said that more than 1,800 visas have been given to Indian students. The best time to visit Delhi is in October. The weather is nice and cool, and families are decked out in lights to enjoy Diwali, the year's biggest holiday. I don't want to leave my job and go home. I hope all of my Indian friends have a wonderful Diwali. Sun began his farewell message by saying, as reported on Tuesday by the Chinese embassy in India. The 20th National Congress of the Communist Party of China was recently held and went well. It got interest from all over the world. According to Sun, China's foreign policy goals of promoting world peace and shared growth will always be a part of its new path. China is also committed to building a community with a shared future for all people. The diplomat talked about the 3 years since he started his job in July 2019. In each of the past 3 years, I've had the pleasure of meeting President Xi Jinping in Chennai for the second time as Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Trade between the two countries was worth more than $120 billion. I understood how much the people of India wanted to improve their lives, and I could feel their support and hope for peace between China and India. The ambassador said that relations between China and India went up and down during this time. He also said that he would like to use this chance to share some of his thoughts on these relations. To begin, it's about who we are. China and India have long been great agricultural countries. Farming culture is a big part of both significant civilizations, which is very different from how Western society began. Rabindranath Tagore, a famous Indian poet, said, "We folks from the East cannot borrow the minds or the temperaments of the West. We need to find out what rights we were born with." Second, it's about how we got to be here now. China and India have been interacting since more than 2,000 years ago, and they have primarily worked together peacefully during that time. Third, it's about where we're going. We should improve cooperation that benefits both sides, use our growth to help each other and other countries in the area and work together to protect the developing countries' rights and interests. China and India have long-term strategic goals in the same direction. The 3 things I just talked about show how close China and India are and how much they have in common. The ambassador said they also show how important and strategic China-India relations are. Suppose we use the Western idea of geopolitics to look at the relationship between China and India. In that case, big neighboring countries like us will always see each other as enemies and threats. Therefore, conflict and competition will be the main ways people engage, and Sun warned that a zero-sum game would happen. We need to get out of the geopolitics trap and go in a different direction than we have been in the past. He stressed that there is room for China and India to grow together. The two countries and their peoples should be smart enough to find a way to live together in peace and work together in a way that benefits both sides. The world will be safer and more stable if ties between China and India improve. He said that good relations between China and India are needed because the world and history are moving, and people want it. The ambassador urged the two nations to turn our broad consensus on multilateral affairs into concrete actions, and enhance communication in the framework of the United Nations, G20, BRICS, SCO and other multilateral institutions. According to Sun, The two countries should try to work out their differences and find a good answer through talks and consultations instead of letting their differences define their relationship. The ambassador ended his farewell speech by saying, "With the help of both sides, we can get China-India relations back on track and encourage the healthy and steady growth of these two relationships, which will be good for both countries and their peoples."